Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Blonde Intelligence with me, Miss Ronnie, where I always seek to give you exquisite cranial repertoire. This week, we have a very special guest. We got Miss Akeylah Simone. Say hello to everyone.
Akeylah Simone here. How's everyone doing? How you doing, Miss Ron?
We're going to start out with letting you tell everyone a little bit about yourself as an artist.
So I am Akeylah Simone from Hampton Roads, Virginia. A lot of people from this area, 757. Don't want to drop any names, for real, no big deal. Up and coming artist. My genre is to be detected. I have been thrown really heavily into the R&B and soul, but I grew up on blues. I'm extremely eclectic. I grew up on, but yeah, I am really just out here ready to get back to performing. I'm recording right now. Have a lot going on. I'm just networking, working, make.
So tell me about your current projects that you have going on right now.
So right now, I just released my new track, "Black is Beautiful: Letter to My Country." A track that means a lot to me as a.
What does every artist need? Press, 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 and more press. Music reviews, interviews, blog articles, press releases, the Blonde Intelligence video show, the Blonde Intelligence podcast, the Blonde Intelligence blog, Blonde Intelligence music reviews. Available on Pandora, Amazon Music, Apple, YouTube, and more. Social media blasts, build your EPK, expand your fan base, links to your press. For more information, visit blonde-intelligence.com.
Black woman in America, just in general. That right now we have a contest going for that. Just submit, what does Black is Beautiful mean to you? Submit it to me. We're working on the Black is Beautiful fan video. I'm start recording my EP starting tomorrow, actually. I have about 8 tracks that we're going to be laying down over the course of the next month and a half or so, and should be releasing that, I want to say, late May, maybe early June. And I'm extremely excited about that. I had a period where I was kicked out of work for a little bit due to you know who, that big COVID. And when those opportunities happen, I look at them as opportunities. I just wrote and I wrote and wrote and wrote, and now I have a full EP. I can go into. I'm ready to record, and that's what we're working on now.
Okay. So you said that you're ready to get back out there and perform. So I'm going to ask this question. How do you feel about performing in a space of unmasked people when everybody is not deciding whether or not they want to take the vaccine or not?
So I will not be performing until we get to a point where CDC does say that it's safer to gather again, and where the majority has been vaccinated, and CDC says it's safe to not wear masks again. I'm not willing to take that risk right now, only because it's this virus going around. It's not really about what we feel is safe for us. This is a community thing. This is an everybody thing. What might not affect me as well is not going to be the same for the next person. I'm not willing to create an environment unsafe for other people, basically. So I'm going to wait. It just gives me time to create more, to write more, practice more, because it has been a long time since I've been on stage. I have to relearn how to not be nervous on stage. That's why I'm taking opportunities like this to be in front of the camera, in front of people. I really think it's just an opportunity for artists to really dig in and find themselves as artists again. I'm really excited about what's going to be on the stages when it's safe to do so.
Okay. Define yourself as an artist.
Ooh. Oh, I should have gotten that one before the interview. Define myself as an artist. Oh, that's a.
Let's just say that there's some project that you want to work on, or whatever it is, or somebody that you want to work with, and you see them somewhere, and that would be your only chance to pitch yourself to them. How would you define yourself as an artist?
Hi, I'm Akeylah Simone, a becoming artist. I'm ready to work. That's kind of what my EP is going to be about. Me coming finding myself as an artist, because I'm still doing that. I'm still learning. I have been introduced to, I don't know if you've heard of it, the new app Clubhouse. It's a great app for networking and meeting some of these big people and listening and learning how to pitch. But it's also, like I said, it's a really great learning space, and I'm still learning who Akeylah Simone is. I really am, because I did take a significant amount of time stepping back from Akeylah Simone as an artist, as a musician, as a singer, and I'm just now stepping back into that space and learning what that means to me. So when I do present myself in front of these people, and I do present myself, step up to these people for these opportunities, I'm letting them know I am an artist. I'm learning right now. My dad always says, walk, what is it? Crawl, walk, run. Whew, I'm crawling.
Okay. So tell me this. Since COVID, what have you improvised on and made something uniquely your own to fit your situation? Because everybody had to get innovative with COVID. So in what ways did you get innovative to keep this thing going besides the writing, besides Clubhouse? I mean, how did you interact with people besides, I would say, the regular means that we would use?
Absolutely. So back in, I want to say I started it uh, maybe last February, March. I started venturing over to my dad's house. My dad is a blues musician.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Blackhat. My parents have this huge music room, and since we couldn't go to the open mics anymore. We couldn't get on stage anymore. A lot of his big shows that I would go to and get on stage with him and cancel. So I needed to sing. I needed to be on a mic. So I started going to their house, into their 2-story music room, and I just set the mic up and I would sing for hours. I called them my therapy sessions. And when I say hours, it's like 5-7 hours of just straight singing, and I would record the whole thing. After that, I would go through, pick out my best bits, posting them. And I started getting feedback on them, and that's kind of when Akeylah Simone was born. Once I started getting that feedback, I was like, oh, these people really like this. I just kept doing it, and that's how I've actually been engaging with my fans, is consistent, doing these sessions and inviting people into this very vulnerable space, because sometimes it's me creating, sometimes it's singing, sometimes it's something very deep place, but just sharing it with them. I will say, since COVID happened, being able to interact with fans is a whole new ball game. It's very personal. It's very in my inbox, literally talking to these people, a whole bunch of different people, just about life, and I love it. I love how we're engaging with fans now, so it's different.
So you say you love how you're engaging with fans. Tell me about, do you have any virtual performance experience?
We had
Live stream.
my first track, Uncertainty, was released in September, and we did a live stream performance in December for a show called Channel Z over in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, and after that experience, I said, and then a whole bunch of people have been telling me, like, we know we can't see you in person, but a live stream.
Hi, this is Marlette with Classic Glam by Marlette, where classic never goes out of style. We're based here in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, but you can reach us on our website at classicglamgirl.com or Facebook and Instagram at Classic Glam by Marlette.
Mary Ruth's Organic is a #1 Amazon bestseller wellness brand dedicated to immune support and gut health products. Made with high quality, non-GMO, plant-based vegan ingredients with the fewest number of allergens possible. Mary Ruth's Organic health products are cat's claw, elderberry, lemon balm, adrenaline focus, ionic zinc, ginseng vitality. Find Mary Ruth's Organics on Instagram at Mary Ruth Organics. Blonde Intelligence is a Mary Ruth Organic partner.
Performance is going to be the next move, and I'm thinking April, May time frame, around the time my EP is released, we'll start pushing those out.
Do you think that it's I'm gonna say it like that. Do you think that your fan base is bigger in the United States or internationally? And tell me why.
I definitely think the United States. I do. My publicist is pushing heavy here in the UK, or here in the United States, but also really heavy in the UK. But my fan is definitely here in the United States, especially since my last track was released, because it's about Black women in America. Or Black, I don't say Black women, being Black in America. So my it has definitely grown from that, and it's more focused here in the US. Just for now.
I'm gonna ask you a question, and you can choose to answer it or not, depending on when it's airing or whatever. But today is the day that the trial for the officer who killed George Floyd starts. So how powerful do you think your latest single will be, considering what's going on? And I know that you probably didn't even think about, oh, well, this trial is set to for this time or whatever, and I'm going to release this song, because a lot of people do stuff like that. So how do you feel how powerful your song would be, considering the just all the social everything that is going on now? I can't even say just social injustice. I mean, it's just so many things going on. So tell me, what impact do you think, how powerful do you think it'll be right now?
I think that when you listen to my track, there's kind of two dimensions of it. There's the Black experience in a whole, and then there's a Black experience individual. If you listen to it, I kind of go between the my and the our with the wording. So when you take the George Floyd situation and you listen, that is happening today, and unfortunately that timeline the release of my song was not meant to match up with that situation. It did mean to kind of go up with Black History Month, but I mean, we celebrate Black history every day. We know that. So I would say when it comes to my song, I don't want to have any impact socially with my song, but I would like for people to take it individually and use it as a tool to access any vulnerability, any feelings that they have towards their own experience in Black America. And then when they reflect on the George Floyd situation, they can apply it to that one too, individually. I don't want to take this song that's meant to speak on the individual Black experience and then the Black experience as a whole and apply it to like a singular situation. Because there's just so much. The impact of every Black experience in America is so much. So, yeah.
I wrote a blog once, and I was talking about that people always calling the Black woman strong, and the Black woman represents strength, and it was saying that the way society has built the Black woman, that they expect for her to be able to go on even when she's not strong, even when she's weak, even when she needs to cry. I mean, so what do you think about the perception of the Black woman only being portrayed as strong, or only being portrayed as ratchet, or only being portrayed as uncivilized? What do you think about that?
I think
that's three different facets that people have for the Black woman, and they always talk about the stereotype. So it could be more, but what do you think about each one of those?
I think that whole mindset is just so problematic. It's so problematic, and from two different aspects. When you're talking about just Black women in general, with everything that we've had to deal with in this country, and that is a very light way of saying, like a light way of saying it. Everything we've had to deal with in this country through history. But the most problematic part for me is what you just said, is the stereotype of it. Is you look at a Black woman and you have this huge general idea of her, and it's so big. And this doesn't need to be just applied to Black women or Black men or Black people or anyone in general. This needs to be applied to every situation in life, everything. We have to stop generalizing, and we have to look at these individual situations and say, yes, this woman was raised in this way, and she was brought up this way. She ended up here, and this is why she behaves this way. Okay, so with it, like that's just the major problem with it for me. It's just that generalization of, yes, Black women have to be strong. We're not digging these individual situations of why I have to be strong, why you have to be strong. We did not come from the same space. Like, you know what I mean? So that's problematic in itself. Now, just the idea of a Black woman having to be strong, whether it's generalized or not, is another very toxic, problematic issue. I do love where this country is headed, where we've kind of taken that, I really don't know, kind of taken that back, where we're able to focus on our own mental health and take that and say, yeah, we're allowed to say no now, and we're not shamed for it. I love where that direction this country is going, and we do have a long way to go, but I think we're headed there. A lot of it has to do with us just standing up for ourselves. Okay, I have not spent a lot of time, and I'd like to. It's just how kind of like my life is like falling in place right now with, you know, working with 3 kids, homeschooling, music. So but
Look, life.
yeah, right, like that. So I would love to spend time like kind of diving into social media and getting a more broad view of what you're speaking on, like how people are portraying Black women, how they're speaking on Black women. I have not spent a lot of time doing that. What I prefer, and it's only because I do prefer to speak to Black women individually, you know, not out in person and whatnot, and learn about these individual experiences, and then kind of build a conclusion off of that. And I think that's what America really needs to do. But we'll get there one day.
Well, tell me, what kind of splash do you think that you make to the music industry?
Splash. Ooh.
Splash.
Honestly, just being real. And doing it musically. Like, when I sit down at the piano and I go to compose a song, believe it or not, I'm not a pianist. I do not know how to play the piano. I know how to compose music. I know how to make chords and notes sound pretty, how to make them come one after the other. But I have not spent any significant amount of time.
What does every artist need? Press, 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 and more press. Music reviews, interviews, blog articles, press releases, the Blonde Intelligence video show, the Blonde Intelligence podcast, the Blonde Intelligence blog, Blonde Intelligence music reviews. Available on Pandora, Amazon Music, Apple, YouTube, and more. Social media blasts, build your EPK, expand your fan base, links to your press. For more information, visit blonde-intelligence.com.
Learning music theory, and I learned recently that that's a problem, so I'm learning that. But I have there's a lot of feeling in my music, and I use the actual music, my instrumental, to give the same message. If you heard Black is Beautiful, the full version, the piano solo that I did in the very beginning of that is a story in itself. And that's what I want. I want every piece of my music, every image that I put out there, video that I put out there, anything tied to my music to really have its own story, all tied to the same, but have its own story. That's including myself. If you know, my splash is probably going to be the fact that I'm natural. I don't wear makeup. None of it. Probably going to be one of my biggest challenges.
There's nothing wrong with that. Look, most of the time I don't wear it either.
There was, but it's going to be my splash, because it's going to be, I'm here to make music. A lot of people ask, like, when do you feel like make it? Are you ready to make it? And I'm like, I'm ready to be heard.
Let's make it.
I don't know. That's the thing.
I know that if you're doing something and you're doing it to the best of your ability, and the people that you have truly care about you, truly support you, that is better than having 100 million people who only on the bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's always quality over quantity.
Exactly. So I just tell people all the time, I'm not really looking to be famous. I'm looking to be heard, because this music that I push out, I do feel like if it gets into the hands of the right person, it's so impactful. And that's how I experience music. Music is impactful for me. It could be the lightest song out there, like no meaning or whatever, but I will listen to it over and over again until it has impact. There's going to be some part of that piece that's going to touch me. You're going to be like, why are you listening to this? It could be something that's on the radio. It could be like, it could be anything. And I'm like, I'm looking for my impact. And that's how the music that I want to make. I want that impact to be easily accessible. So, and that's what I've been told too, is about anyone that's listened to my music, reviewed my music, that impact is right there. It's like, it's there. So that's going to be my splash, is my impact.
Okay. Well, I thank you for coming, and I would like for you to give any last words of advice to any other artists. Give your social media handle, name of your latest projects, and where they can find you.
Awesome. So, Akeylah Simone, any advice that I have, guys, just be yourself. Be yourself, and acknowledge that it takes time to get there. It really does. It's okay if you're not yourself right now. It's perfectly okay. It will come. Just strongly believe, and know that you'll get there. It's coming. It's coming. I promise you. And when it does come, don't fight it. I fought it for a long time. Don't fight it. But you can find me on social media, Akeylah Simone. That's Akeylah Simone, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, Reverb Nation, Spotify, Apple. I'm everywhere. Just Google it, YouTube it. It's all over the place. Yeah, that's all I have. My next project, my EP, I'm working on it. I haven't titled it yet. We're leaning towards my therapy sessions, but we shall see. That you guys should be hearing more about that in May, June. So.
Well, you heard her. You can find her everywhere. Don't forget to check us out on the podcast. Don't forget the Blind Intelligence blog. And also don't forget the Blind Intelligence show, which is on YouTube. And you can also find it on IGTV. Thank you for coming, Miss Akeylah.
For having me, Ronnie. I appreciate it.
Bye. Advertise with Blonde Intelligence, where our listeners experience exquisite cranial repertoire. Blonde Intelligence is a new podcast and video channel featuring entertainment, musical artists, producers, entrepreneurs, as well as discussions on social topics, making the Blonde Intelligence platform suitable for a wide variety of product ad types. Video, Instagram TV, YouTube, and links shared to all Blonde Intelligence social media pages and select group networking platforms. This creates a collective base of over 50,000 potential sets of eyes on your product or service. Each sponsored ad will feature on both the podcast and video platforms. Sponsors have the choice of either a voice ad or audio-video ad, with 3 options for placements. Create a win-win business partnership by advertising with Blonde Intelligence.